stream. So I just have my interest here, and I'm just counting up my interest. As you can see on the screen here, there's something in the background here. I don't know what it is. If it's my computer, no, come over here. I think it's the green screen cuts off or it cuts in, which sucks. Let me see if I could just move the camera a little bit. Oops. A little better. All right, perfect. What's up, guys? Let me see what's happening here. Sorry if I covered myself and the screen and whatnot, but we're just counting up the interest. That's what we're doing right now. We had 19 people here. Thank you guys for joining me. I will adjust everything. Is the 13th. Let's do subscribers only. Thank you everybody for being a subscriber. Let's also add in a thumbnail, guys. Let's see. Carry that save. All right, what's going on? A reading for takeoff? Or are you saying ready for takeoff? I'm ready for takeoff. We got 27 people here, 10 likes. Thank you guys for being here, being a part of this. And as soon as I start talking, Carl comes. That's just what he does. He's right here. And he's just a little weird. Right now, my Coinbase account is pretty high from how much I invested into it. I invested a total of $3,000 into it, and you know, I'm up about $2,000 on my crypto, on different cryptocurrencies, on this cryptocurrency, which is just the interest building currency. So that's what that is. And then I also have my regular cryptocurrency, my Coinbase Pro account, which is actually down quite a bit. It's up in total because I only invested, I believe it was $12,000. So I'm up overall, but it's down from where it was because it was up to $23,000 and now it's down to 18,000 because a lot of things have kind of fell. Internet Computer is down in the last 24 hours by 7%. Harvest Finance is down below $200. So that's definitely a great sign. Might have to make a purchase there. I think I might have free money to do so. We'll see. I have to check it out. So yeah, I think I might have something. Let's see. Polymath is up by 23%. That's literally the only thing that's up that I have. Everything else is like 5% or 6% or 7% or even close to 10% or so. So crypto is doing fine. I'm okay with that. But let's look at the stock market. Let's see what's happening. Let me actually, whatever that is, I need to exit out of that. Let's look at different positions here. I'm gonna look at AMC. Sorry, this boom arm is horrendous. It's actually scratching my table. I might have to get a new. Oh, I definitely have to get a new boom arm. Let's see. Good morning, beautiful people. Good morning. We have 38 people, 39 people here, guys. Hit the like button if you can. Thank you guys for being a part of this. So Matthew, hope you have a good week. I think we will have a good week. I hope AMC reaches levels where we actually want it to go, 60, 70, 80, 100, right? So hoping that we could see that. Now, I did just upload a video on Patreon for the members that are expert profit hands level. I did another book reading of how to day trade for a living, and it went over VWAP trading. So if you guys are interested in that, I am including that in my analysis here. So when we look at that, we can add that as a level of support or resistance when we gauge that over the day. And just so that you guys can have consistency if you guys are interested in having different levels of support or resistance. So if you guys are interested in those videos, that's over on Patreon. It's one of the links in the description. And that level is the highest level that I have, where I do the Amazon book readings and go through how to day trade for a living, you know, all different types of books as we, you know, go through the months. So definitely check that out. I'm also uploading a video on the swing trade of the week. I think I already did that. It might have been at like 7 o'clock. So definitely check that out. What's up, everybody? We're gonna run today. Looks like it. More Matthew. I'm a subscriber. Something happened, so I had to make a new email. I'm not sure how to switch my subscription over. I think you have to cancel it with the other one. So if you have access to it, again, I don't know if you have access to it, but if you have access to it, then you just cancel it over there. But that's the only way that you can do it, is by canceling. I think it doesn't auto renew. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't believe it auto renews. So then you could just like find a way to cancel that one and reset this one. So that's the only way that I know of doing it. I think the shorts are going to make a big move this week as we go up. So you think they're going to bring us back down? It seems like they don't have much, firepower, and maybe they're just showing us that just to make us feel good about it. And then when it ends up coming back, then people start to sell more. Maybe that could be a play, but I'm not 100% sure that that's true. It doesn't look like they really have a lot of firepower left, because every time we do increase to a massive amount, they try and bring us back, or they try and bring, the price back, and they can't do it to where they did it before, I don't know if they're going to bring us back down to the levels that we were. I feel like a comfortable level or comfortable, low, hopefully would be around this $50 area, and we can see the skyrocket up to 60, 70, 80, 100, 200, all that stuff. That's what we're looking for. Good morning, guys and gals. Yes, good morning, folks. Thank you. I'll cancel it now and redo it. They're not going to bring us down. Yeah, I don't believe it either. ATER is moving, is it? Let's look at ATER. That is moving. It's up by 21%. The past couple of days have been pretty damn great, from $6 all the way up to $15. Obviously, people that are in it made a ton of money out of it. And this is why it doesn't hurt to, run with a position or chase it a little bit, because you never know what could happen. It could come right back on you, but you can gain money each day that you get into it. So if you get in right in the beginning of the day, there's a chance that it could come back. Now, if it did, you get stopped out for a stop loss. But if it runs up, you're making a decent amount of money from it. From $7 up to $10, you're making a decent amount. So I always suggest that, if you're going to chase a position, make sure you're disciplined. And this is a clear example of that. Now, the only thing is you're seeing a difference today that you did not see in any other day, to where in the pre-market and after hours market, you see consolidation. And then in the actual market open, you see that increase. But in this pre-market or after hours market and pre-market, you're seeing it increase, which means that during the market open, you might see consolidation. So definitely be aware of that. And consolidation doesn't just mean that it will increase. As you can see here, it decreases and then consolidates. Goes up, decreases, then consolidates. Goes up, decreases, then consolidates. So just be careful. Yeah, ATER is definitely killing it from what I've seen. Where was I at? The hedgies have been focused on GME. Give them time and they will focus on AMC again. I don't know if they've been focused on GME. Obviously they've been pushing it down, but I just don't think there's a ton of buying strength that's going into it. There's people that are holding, but there's not a bunch of buying strength. It's more like when like say you're playing tug of war with people that you're equal strength with, right? Basically, you guys are just holding on to the rope, right? Not giving any type of weight, not pulling back, not buying into the position, not, shorting the position. You're just pulling, and the mark is staying right in the middle, right? So obviously, once it gets to a point to where people start buying more or shorting more, you're going to see it shift in one way or the other. But it's mainly just a tug of war that has been halted. I wouldn't think that GME, they've been focused on it. We have seen a little bit of a pullback for GME. So whatever shorts have been going through, we haven't seen a ton of buying power that have been going through with that. So I mean, You never really know, but I would say that um, I just believe what I believe, right? They can't anymore. We broke a lot of levels. Yes, we have. Thoughts on Lucid Motors? Good price action for the bulls. I'm not sure. It's up to $20. Who's up there? It's up to $20. Was up basically 0.4% on Friday, and right now it just looks like it's actually coming back a little bit. Breaking past some other levels, looking like you have a point of resistance up here. So if you can get up to like 23, you can gain about $3 out of it. Uh, and it looks like it has a lot of strength above that point where it did hit this low. It would have been great to be able to catch it at this low and ride it up to obviously 20 or 23. But yeah, I would say it's on its way to crossing the 15 moving average to the 200 EMA, which is a great sign there. So once you see that crossover, that's a clear indication of a bullish pattern. Not the levels before, but something shocking to get the people nervous. Good morning, Matthew. Always good to see your live stream in the AM. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. ATR is killing it. Yes, they are. They bring it to 49 or 48 and make paper hands sell, and then we always bounce. Yeah, I mean, that's really their plan is to, have that increase either a massive amount or a good amount where people start to get really excited about where it's going, and then they bring it back. So yeah, I don't know if they have that much strength to bring it back like they've done in the past, but I would imagine they still have some strength, at least something. But always expect the unexpected. But then if you're expecting the unexpected, then you're still expect. You know what? I'm not gonna fall into that. Um, they're loading up most likely. I don't think they can drop it past 45. Even that, yeah, I would agree. One call Kenny asks Hedgies where my money at. How do you guys have free money to play other stocks besides GME and AMC? So whatever you're comfortable with. I mean, in my opinion, you should always put what you're comfortable with in one position, right? You don't have to put everything that you possibly own into AMC or GME because um, that's I'm not saying that it's dumb because I know that AMC and GME are going to take off, but it is in an investment standpoint by just, day trading, swing trading, by any sort of investment or trader, it makes no sense to put everything that you own into one position. Yes, you have the potential to gain so much if you do that, but if you're comfortable with how much you can gain with how much you hold, then you're good. So like I could have put 30,000 more dollars into AMC if I wanted to. I could have put 30,000 more dollars into GME if I wanted to. But I'm comfortable with what I have in AMC and GME. And if I put more in there, then that just risks the stock coming back more whenever I do end up selling portions. And I don't want that. You know what I mean? So I want it to come back to just slight levels or even increase after I end up selling certain positions. So, or certain, shares. But you should always diversify things, no matter if you do have the best investment opportunity in anyone's lifetime. I think you should put it into other positions because there are other great opportunities. I.e., crypto. Crypto comes back so much, you have so much opportunity. Also, dividend positions. Your Roth IRA or whatever, which I have a whole issue with the whole like the tax Roth IRAs over 5 million issue. Um, but that's a story for another day, maybe. But yeah, I would say you can always have free money to put into other places, as long as you're, staying with what you have in AMC and GME. Um, for the overall squeeze situation, I think you're good. You know. Um, I agree, but it's over 70. When it goes to 45. Yeah, AMC to 200. They're going to take AMC to 200 and they're going to make it seem the apes made it out without them covering their shares. That's possible. I am in. Don't get me wrong. Thanks, Matthew. Much appreciated. No problem. I want some more $150. Yeah, I want some more as well. $150 GME is a steal. Right now, where farm is, under $200 is someplace where I believe is a great price because you can basically get 5 farm for spending $1,000, right? That is amazing because 5 farm, where the max level is, you can get to, 400, 1,000, $2,000, $10,000, right? It gets to $10,000 at $50,000 off of 5 farm coin, right? It will decrease the price if you do sell it by, quite a bit because there's only 700 circulating supply or 700,000 circulating supply. But still, you're gaining a lot out of that. You sell at $10,000. I mean, you're gaining a lot for investing $1,000. You invest $1,000 here to have to buy 5, and then it goes to $10,000, and now you have $50,000. So, I mean, I'll take that every day. Well, listen, bottom entry position of 18. Looks like it got to 15. 15.28. Let me go back to AMC. Actually, I want to check GME to see where they're at. So they're up 1.8% up to $193. It's not bad. It did get down to 170, which I don't have any more money in Weeble. I'm comfortable with the $60,000 that I have in Weeble right now. Let's see my account. So yeah, $60,000 I have in Weeble right now. I have a bunch of different plays. SOS is not really. It did make a move recently, which I was surprised about because I didn't see. It got up to $3 and some odd cents. I think $3.14. I'm currently holding at $3.96. The current price is at $2.70. I do have an SOS call option for $2.50, I believe. So where it is now, it's still up by a couple of cents. And my unrealized P&L is $7 versus SOS total loss of 2,500. Yeah, 2,500. Yeah, 2,517 of total loss. It's unrealized though, so just wait for that to play out. You'll be good. ZOM obviously not doing well, but everything else is pretty much doing well. Besides GameStop, I'm still at 220 and I hold 20 shares. But obviously AMC up $22,000 really trumps everything, and I'm up even more than that. I just took out $10,000. Not just took out $10,000. This was a while ago. But yeah, I'll stick with my $60,000. I'm fine with that. I don't want to really invest anymore. I do have room to buy like a couple more call options or maybe some puts or on something. But yeah. Let's see. GME and AMC are only stocks worth owning, in my opinion. I still own other stocks, but they are from before times. Well, you still own them though. Like, come on, you can't say that. You can't say that. Matt said sell, unsubscribe. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. AMC needs to break 53. It does. It needs to break 100 because that's what we've been waiting for, right? It got up to a level of $76, I believe, right? And it needs to break 100. Just like Dogecoin, they wanted to break $1. We need it to break. We need AMC to break, $100. I'm holding until we get well over 5K. That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. Whatever your strategy is, make sure you have a strategy to where you start at a certain point. If you believe we're going to get to that point, you start there, because there's a lot of levels that you can get to. If you're comfortable with those levels, then make that move. No way am I going to sit here and say, I'm holding out for the complete top. Like all of my 900 shares is going directly to the peak point, because that would be stupid of me to do. Because once you have people start to sell off, it's going to be a huge dip, and I mean halts, and a lot of just fuckery, for lack of a better term. Yeah, it's going to be a lot. So once you see that hit that peak and people start selling, it's going to be gaps to where it's like, all right, if you don't get your order in right now, it's going to gap up. It's going to gap down the next time. And by the time it opens, it's going to gap down again. By the time it opens, it's going to gap down again. You're not going to have any time of free movement. And it's just going to gap. There's been a number of stocks that have gapped up and had no time in between. So you had to just buy and hope that it would go up at that point, and not that it would gap down. And you've seen it gap up, gap down, and next gap up, gap down, next minute, gap. Like it was just doing crazy movement. And I don't want that. So I'm not going to hold till, 500K. You'll probably see me. Oh, well, let me be clear. I'm not going to hold everything until 500K. So I'll probably have 10 to 100 shares from the level of 20,000 and up. Everything before 20,000, I'll probably make some moves here and there. And maybe I'll even invest more as we start to see different levels. If they start to pull it back, then we'll see that happen that way. But that's my strategy. If you want to play it that way, I think that's the best way that we make the squeeze last the longest without having crazy movement on the way down. Because if, like, for people that do hold, like, say, I don't know how much Trey holds, but if Trey holds 5,000 shares, 10,000 shares, 30,000 shares, right, those 30,000 shares, he's one of those retail whales, which means that if he sells on the way down, it's going to be one of those things that gaps. So 30,000 was sold here, it gapped down. The next person sells 100,000, it gaps down, 10,000, whatever. And I mean, I don't want to be stuck in that to where I've waited all this time and I basically end up selling at 100 or something. Is the video that I'm watching? Oh, okay. Okay. Never mind. Sorry. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. Oh, jeez. I'm signed into the wrong account. Guys, this will give you the chance, since I'm not actually watching what the comments are saying, make sure you take some time to go over to my golf channel and, subscribe over there. Watch a couple of videos. I have a video that's coming out at 12 to where I'm going to try and increase my swing speed. So it's going to be something where I spend multiple days trying to increase my swing speed. I'm trying to get my 300-yard drive back. And it's all because I haven't been swinging. I haven't been doing a lot of or playing a lot of golf. And now that I have this channel, I want to play a lot more golf and create content and all that different type of stuff. And also get more comfortable around regular people and not be as introvert. So definitely go ahead and check that out. And subscribe and watch some of my content if you have a chance. All right. So now let's get back to where I was. What am I doing? Let me. I can remember. Do you think AMC will hit 6 figures with the squeeze? Six figures. Will it hit like 100K? It has a possibility of hitting that level, but I just think it's so difficult because, like I just said, once people see $1 million, $2 million, $3 million in their account, because if it hits six figures, just think about it, or if it hits $50,000, right? That means that people are holding 20 shares, if I'm doing math correctly, now are millionaires without factoring in taxes. They see $1 million in their account. 20 shares. That means that people that are holding 100 shares are obviously making a ton of money out of it. So when they see that, are they willing to sell? Most likely. When people see multiple millions of dollars, they're like, you know what? I'm getting out. This is it. I don't need to continue to let this grow. Some people are greedy and continue to go. And I don't know if it's greedy to, give it a term, but I mean, what you could do is, instead of selling all 100 shares that you own, you now see $50,000. You're like, let me sell 20. You sell 20, and that's $1 million that you're pocketing there. Obviously, if you factor in taxes, it's going to be about 600,000, 500, 600,000. So then you're basically saying, okay, I'm pocketing $500,000 that I didn't even put into this position. So everything else that's sitting in there, it can continue to grow because I still have skin in the game. You know what I mean? But some people will end up pulling out everything, right? And if they pull out everything, then that's where it starts to decrease the stock. So I don't have faith that every single person is, the like a solid ape to where they're going to maybe sell a little portion of it rather than all of it. Like, I will never sell everything. I won't. Like, that's not how I roll. If I'm going to see a position, I pull out a couple of shares and then, pocket whatever that is, and then I have some skin left in the game. But so like I said, some people will end up selling everything, and it's because they see the max amount that they have, and they're like, all right, you know what? That's $1 million. I want $1 million. So I'm going to take out everything that I own at whatever $1 million is, and then quit my job or whatever. And it's like, you missed a full opportunity because you only wanted $1 million. So it depends. I think, $1,000 to $2,000 is the floor. That's going to happen. But everything above that depends on what people do. So I think $5,000 to $10,000 is definitely in play. When you start to get to $10,000 to $20,000, then it's like, all right, well, what are people doing with 100 shares? They have 100 shares. What are they going to do with that? Well, they technically have $1 million at that point, right? Is that accurate? Technically have $1 million at that point. So what are they going to do with it? Are they going to sell it? That's basically adding that line, because I think the average share count is 120. So if the average share count is 120, then what is the average person going to get to $1 million with? And that's $10,000. So I would say that you probably look at that and factor that into it and see how people react to it. Because again, I think anybody should probably take a little bit of profit, but should you pull out everything? I don't think that's the case. And that's just me. Also that we hold and not sell. Yeah, it's like I said, yeah, like he said, Fearless One. If you hold and not sell everything, I think we're good. But if everybody held to a point of the peak point and then everybody sold at the top, it would be all hell. And I wouldn't want to be a part of that. It would be like going to Black Friday when they only have 4 of the TVs that everybody wants. Because not everybody can win out of the deal. Yes, we can win, to a certain extent, because obviously the shorts are losing, but not everybody's going to win at the max amount that they can get. Not everybody's going to end up pocketing $30 million from it, right? And you're going to have some people that end up profiting, $100,000 or $200,000, which is great, but it's not $30 million, right? And you all want to sell at the top. You all want to basically say, I want to sell my 4,000 shares at $50,000 a piece. And it's like, that's not believable that you're going to be able to do that. So how about you sell bits and pieces, 100 shares here, 100 shares there, while it's buy heavy, you could sell some of it. And then when you get to the peak point, you have 1,000 shares left. That's reasonable. But to sell your 4,000 shares at the peak point is not reasonable. How about you profit on the way up and then you sell your 1,000 shares that you have at $50,000, which would be huge. If everybody did that, then we would have something really big. Now you would still have people that end up profiting less, but just not as much less as it was if everybody sold at the top. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Matt mentioned when people sell, do limit sell orders. Not a market sell. Wait, I mentioned that? I don't think he, wait. Wait, hold up. I think that you should do a market order because a lot of times your limit orders will not get filled. It depends where you're doing it. So if you're doing it on the way up, you can do a limit if you want, because they'll basically make you reach that limit. But if you're doing it on the way down, you might end up missing it entirely. And then you want to put in a market order so that everything goes through. No matter if because the bid ask spread is going to be huge. It's going to be very wide. And you don't want to miss that, because if you miss it, then basically you have to double down on the amount that you're pulling out, which ends up making the price decrease more. So throughout the squeeze, I would say, if you're going on the way up, you can do limit orders. I always do market orders because the bid ask spread is not that far anyways. So when I see it start to resist where I want it to, I get out of it. But when it comes to going down, market order all the way. I would not say limit order. And that's my opinion. Some people say that you should do a limit order, and I just don't understand it entirely. And maybe it'll open my eyes to doing it, but I don't see it. So if you can explain it to me and how it would be a better impact to it, let me know. Because like I said, I'm always open for, improvement. Everyone should be pumped after the close above 50, and we all back and forth. We have the momentum. This is going to be wild. Yes, it is. Good morning, my friend. Let's get rich together. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. A lot of people to make a ton of money and do great things by that money. I got to put out a video on what you should do after the squeeze. If you profit a certain amount, what you should end up, and I'm not saying that you physically have to do this, but what you should think about. I should clarify, GME and AMC are the only stocks worth pumping money into. Yes, pumping money. Yes, I would say. Maybe pre-market dip, but I'm getting 300 more shares at the open to help. That's awesome. That's great to hear. Good morning, Matt. Matt, non-AMC. I've been debating starting a YouTube channel. Is it worth all the time? How do you get the courage, I guess, to start making videos? I would say if you have, like, I don't know what you're planning on making YouTube videos on. Is it about personal finance or anything like that? I would say, how do you get the courage to create YouTube videos? It's so difficult for me, or it was so difficult in the beginning, because I don't like hearing my own voice and I have to watch the video back in order to edit and all that stuff. I would say once you put something out, once you get support from some people, and it doesn't really have to be to the point to where you push it out to your family members or anybody that you know, let them figure it out on their own. Like, I had a bunch of people that figured it out on their own. They're like, I didn't know you do YouTube and you have 126,000 subscribers. You must be, really good at what you do. But if you push yourself on the people that you know, a lot of times they'll basically say, oh, you know what, this person doesn't really seem like an expert in where they are, an everyday conversation. But if other people obviously validate that, then they start to validate the way that they think as well. So, change the way that they think there. So I think what you need to do is just put out videos on what you truly do believe you're good at. So if it's personal finance and you want to talk about it, then talk about it. But you're not going to get as comfortable as, like, say, like how I'm rolling with it. I can mess up word by word. Like, I do not speak English well. I pretty much say, you know, I say all types of words, right? I just mess up everything. Right now, I just lost my train of thought and I still roll with it. But um, what I'm saying is that you're not going to get as comfortable as like I am, you know, creating one take videos. So what you're going to need to do is create a video and then edit it to where you clip everything together and, you know, make it seem like you actually know what you're talking about every single second of the video. But once you get comfortable with the editing strategy and, you know, the whole process, I think it gets to be easier. But to tell you the truth, for me, hearing myself talk, I do not like it. I do not like it, Sam. I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. Why did I think about that? But I don't like it. So it's definitely a difficult transition. You just have to get used to it. I would say in the beginning, quantity over quality, and then you start to worry about quality after the fact. Once you develop a strategy and what you want to do and a schedule and all that stuff. But there's a lot that goes into it. If you want to have this conversation, we can always have this conversation over, you know, Discord. So if you're in the Discord, reach out to me and we can do like maybe a chat or something like that. I'm always willing to help. Whether it's a phone call or video chat or whatever, it doesn't really matter. I'm always willing to help. Do an exit strategy for the way up. If it goes to 1K, I'm walking away with 4 million before taxes. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. It's like we can do an exit strategy on the way up, but there's definitely I don't know what words to use for this. Some hesitancy to do that the way that I want to do it, because a lot of people tend to get butt hurt when you say anything when it comes to selling any portion of it. But this is why I don't have as many concurrent viewers, because people don't like when I say that you should sell bits and pieces on the way up rather than just holding on to it for forever. Because if you say that, then people start to sell, and it makes it seem like it's all going to come crashing down. But that's not the case. It won't, off of a little bit. Don't mess with limit orders with GME and AMC. Hedgies will steal your shares. Yes. It end of year price target for Cardano. I would say definitely $5. Once we see crypto start to come back, because I know crypto's been down recently, it's starting to make its way back up. But I think Cardano will see that level of about $5. I'm going to continue to invest into it because I want to be able to stake it eventually. But right now I can't stake it. So I'm just building up the amount that I have. So when it gets to the point to where I can stake it, I can gain money off of it. I can obviously do it now if I went to a different platform, but I want to do it all in Coinbase, and eventually Coinbase will allow it. Just take some time. Right now with my current interest building cryptos, I'm gaining quite a bit from it. So I'm happy with that. But yeah, I think $5 is definitely a point, or close to it by the end of the year. New year, we'll probably see it break that level. But I definitely see over $100 billion market cap, closer to $200 billion market cap for ADA. Limit order just in case it takes a huge dip. How fast can it get to 1K during the squeeze? It can get there pretty fast during the squeeze. I would say a matter of probably hours, a matter of hours, it can get to 1K. I think the FOMO buying will kick in up until five, maybe $400 or $500, I would say. And then you start to see the squeeze factor into it after that increase. And if you see that increase, you can actually that can happen in a matter of I don't know, it could happen in a matter of a couple of hours, because you could see it double in price, which it wouldn't halt. I think if it grows over 10 minutes or 10% in a certain time period, that's where it starts to halt. But you can see it grow pretty fast and then gap up after that halt, you know? So I think it could happen really fast. Am I wrong? I I'm not sure that limit orders just in case it takes a huge dip will be good because it might end up gapping past your limit order. So this is where I always say put in a market order. If you're selling on the way down, just understand if you're selling on the way down and it gaps past your limit order, well, you're not going to get that filled, right? Even if it is well below your limit order, you're not going to get that filled. It's too far away. So what would happen is if you put in a market order when it gaps down, no matter what, you'll be filled at whatever the next price is available. So if it does gap down to a level, you end up getting sold out at a certain point, right? So it helps you out. Even though there is a large bid ask spread, it still helps you out in getting the order actually filled because the point is getting the hell out of there rather than, trying to find the best price to get out. On the way down, it's just get out while you still can type of thing. On the way up, it's like, oh, you know what? I have time. Let me go ahead and get out when I have a certain limit. It gets to a certain price. You can do that. But on the way down, it's like, get the hell out of there. Um, it's kind of like panic, I guess. But yeah, that's why I don't want to sell on the way down. And if I do, it's going to be like 100 shares, just to see how everything, plays out. Vinny, thank you for that super chat. Again, if you want to talk about, YouTube, you can definitely talk to me, and we can build your channel and whatnot. I want to get back to creating a lot of educational content. This is taking up a lot of time for the live streams, but I've been doing more Patreon videos and doing like a 1 hour live stream or so, just to basically get my thoughts out there. And I think this has been working because I don't really get a ton of viewers during the live stream, but it's great to be able to have these live streams so you guys can hear my thoughts live rather than asking me questions over comments, which I don't always get to all of them. I'm gonna buy a couple of rental properties for the kiddos. That's awesome. Man, I'm glad I bought BABA months ago. FCCP. Matt, you were exactly right though. About what? I'm trying to figure out where I am. Matt, do you earn interest on Coinbase Pro like you do with Coinbase? Coinbase Pro doesn't show me the interest I earn. You don't. You know. So you stake it. You stake it, and you with Coinbase. You don't do it with Coinbase Pro. Coinbase Pro is just the exchange, but Coinbase is more of like a I don't know. It still is like an exchange, but it's a platform basically. If that like it's a different platform, different type. That's why you have different interest rates that you would, or sorry, different fees that you would pay. So Coinbase, you would only get the interest. You don't get it on Coinbase Pro. You can buy it on Coinbase Pro to get less fees taken out and then transfer it over to Coinbase if you wanted to. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend holding it in Coinbase Pro because you're not going to gain anything. Labro says almost the same thing. Yeah, I mean, we're on the same page. I've watched his videos. I haven't watched his videos in a while, but I haven't watched anybody's videos in a while, actually. I've been focused on creating content and, doing a bunch of stuff. So I haven't watched anybody's videos, Trey's, Matt's. I stumbled upon a live stream that he did, I guess, this weekend, but I watched like 2 minutes of it and then stopped watching because I was with the kids. So do you think it'll squeeze over time like Tesla? I think it'll continue over time. I think it'll continue to grow, but do I think it'll stay up to the certain point or to the certain level that it was? The certain level that it will get to of like 100K or 20K. No, I don't think it'll stay at those levels. There's a possibility that it could grow over time like Tesla, but I think there's more shorts out there than there were for Tesla. Obviously, hedge funds and millionaires were shorting the position, shorting Tesla, but not to the level that they're shorting it for AMC and GME. So it's something a lot bigger, but I do believe that it will grow to a higher point to where it's like post squeeze, this company is worth a lot more than just looking at $20 per share, whatever the market cap ends up being. I think it's going to be somewhere where it hovers around $50 per share, just because of the popularity in it. And hopefully they change their business model. This is all dependent on if they change their business model. If they don't, then we have something else to factor into it, and it might bring that stock price, that standard stock price, down. But I do believe that it's going to be worth a lot more post squeeze than it was obviously pre squeeze and pre pandemic. Hey, bro's my boy. Yeah, I agree though. You keep it real and honest as someone who got burned on SPRT. I'm extremely thankful for the people who talk about safe ways to take profit. So thank you, Matt. No problem. No problem. And that's good to say. It's great company with Clay Bro, so I'm all for it. Thoughts on ADA? Again, I think ADA end of year will be $5. It has the potential chance to get up to these levels of $200 billion market cap, which is the only cryptos that have hit that are Bitcoin and Ethereum. There's no other cryptos that have gotten to that point. And I think that ADA is the next one to break 100 billion, but also break 200 billion. I think they're on that road because it is becoming probably one of the most popular cryptos to hold and stake. And that's what I want to do is I want to hold Cardano and stake it. I want to buy more and stake it. That's just what I want to do. I'm sure you've said this again, but thoughts on BBIG? I got 100 shares Friday at $10.86, which I thought was a dip buy and have been red since. So BBIG, this is where I struggle with them, right? I don't think it's necessarily the worst buy ever, right? Obviously, you see this growth here, and you're like, this is insane. From $3 or close to $3 up to a level of $10 or so, and all the way up to a high of $12.49. If you held through that, that would be amazing. If it was just me and I bought at this level, I would have sold probably by the end of the day. There's no way that I would have held throughout the pre-market and post-market, and to watch that come down was obviously confirmation that I probably would have ended up selling here and losing most of my profits. Well, I guess it would have been pretty much the same profit there if I would have sold here. But that's where I would have gotten out at. Now, if you got in at $10, where it currently is, I would say it's a little tough for me because I know they have high short interest, right? And the issue is that you don't have the amount of people that are holding it, and I don't think that this is a full dip that we are seeing here. You might still have some strength in this. You might see this completely pump up, and I might be completely wrong, but I always like to play it safe with positions like this, especially with things that are kind of uncertain. I really don't know where this is going to go. You see the consolidation; it shows more of a bull flag, territory, right? Where you have that pole, you have the flag that kind of extends out larger than the pole, which typically you don't like to see. And then you can possibly see some more increasing. So today it looks like it's green. If you bought in at $10.86 and it has been red ever since, got to $10.39 where it currently is, that's just tough. You could also see that low of $9 or so, $9.67, $9.60 before you end up seeing that jump up over $12.50. I don't know. I see this coming back before it increases. That would be my opinion, but it's totally my opinion. If you want to play it out for the long haul, you can do that. I don't want to tell you exactly how to invest your money. I just want to tell you what I see. And it doesn't really have a history of coming back to different levels. So it's not coming back to the 200 EMA. It's not, it's mainly just breaking above and below the 50 moving average. So it's a little tough. What's going on, Latin? How you doing? Thank you for stopping by the stream. I appreciate that. You know what's crazy? I haven't gamed on anything in a while, which I seen a bunch of releases of or potential releases of new games on PlayStation, and I need to hop on that because I haven't even played the PlayStation yet, and I need to because I haven't played Miles Morales, and I need to jump on that and also upload to my gaming channel. But thank you for stopping by the stream. I appreciate that. My thoughts on Yahoo Finance info that came out in the past few days. I haven't seen it. Could you give me the cliff notes there? Because I use Yahoo Finance for only to figure out the difference between the high and low prices for different positions to see if they're day tradable. But that's all I really look at Yahoo Finance for. Do you think 5,000 ADA coins is enough? Yeah, I think that's enough. Uh, enough to do big things. Are you looking? See, for me, I think 5,000 coins will go a long way in gaining interest because that's all I care about ADA for. I don't really care about the growth. I know that it's going to grow, but I don't care about the growth. I only care about gaining the interest over time. So I know if I can gain, let's say, 5% over time with my 5,000 coins, which is a total of what, $15,000 that you have in ADA right now. And it may be even to a point to where you invested early and your initial investment was only $5,000 and it grew to $15,000. So, I mean, I think it's enough. Yes, I hold 550, so it's more than I have, and I'm only trying to gain the interest out of it. And I want to get that to 1,000, which I will get it to 1,000. Hopefully, it stays like ADA stays below $3, um, right now, and we can gain interest, in the future. But that's what I want to gain out of it. So I'm waiting for Coinbase to basically make Cardano stakeable. What are your future investments post? Well, yeah, I would say post mother of all short squeeze, right? Um, if it depends what I gain out of it. I'm looking to gain somewhere around 3 million, right? If I can gain $3 million from it, then what I will do is put 1 million into an index fund and let it sit there and live off of the interest. Not I would give my job a heads up that I'm not going to be working there anymore because I can easily gain $100,000 through an index fund by having my $1 million sit in there in interest, and that's all I care about. Is I don't care about the growth of the index fund at all. I just care about gaining. Well, obviously the growth of the index fund has to be because I'm gaining 5%. So, or sorry, 10%. So I want to gain $100,000 per year, which post tax would be around $50,000 or so. If it's long term, which it would be over a year in that growth, that I would pull it out, I would say that I would be taxed at less, but I'm still gaining $100,000 no matter what, and I wouldn't need a 9 to 5 income if I know I have consistent, $100,000 that I can gain off of that money. So that will be there. $1 million will go into index funds and let that grow and basically profit off of that and use that as my normal income. Also, I would probably put a lot into different cryptocurrencies that I see as up and coming cryptocurrencies, as like 100 here, 100 there, nothing really too big, but something that I can gain, maybe 28,000 or 30,000 or 50,000 coins from. So when it does hit a dollar, if it does hit a dollar or gets close to it, I can profit off of that. But there's going to be a lot of different investments that I make with that money. And then the main investment is probably paying off my student loans, or not yet. I'll probably more or less pay off the house first and then student loans, just so that I don't pay the interest, because paying the interest as you're gaining interest means that you're gaining the difference. So I'll only be gaining, let's say I have, 2%. I don't even know what my mortgage interest is, but let's say it's 2%, then I'm gaining 10% from here. So over the year, I'm only gaining 8%, if that makes sense, even though I'm gaining 10% on a lot more money. So yeah, but I would say post, I have uh, a ton of investments that I plan on making. But I'm gonna let it. What I'm gonna do is whatever I end up making, I'm gonna let it sit there for a little bit. I'm not gonna make an investment, and I'm just gonna um, kind of admire the amount that I have and understand what my plan is. Write down my plan, and rewrite down my plan and talk it over with my wife, and we'll go from there. So I'm not gonna make a move right away. Um, Anyone heard of PiCoin? I have a PiCoin, but I have a PiCoin called Pallane. I bought it on Gate.io. I have 28,000 coins, and it has grown to about 1 cent so far. So I'm looking for that to make a huge move, and if that does make a leap, I'll own probably somewhere around $28,000 worth because I own 28,000 coins. So we'll see how that plays out as well. And I only invested $200 into it. I plan on investing more into it though, because it does seem like a solid coin that can get to $1 easily, with 1 billion tokens that are out there. And eventually it looks like it's going to be something that's as solid that could be listed on Coinbase, and could transfer it to Coinbase if I wanted to. But I don't know if I will. We'll see what the price is to transfer it. But you're talking about the one where you can mine from your phone. I don't have any information on that. I would like to take a second to tell you, Matt, that I'm proud of you for not having words imminent, confirmed, or exposed in every YouTube video title. Yeah, yeah, I know. There's a lot of clickbait terms that you have to use, and the funny thing is, I struggle. You know, I'll struggle with views because of it, because I don't want to have to do that. Um, yeah, when I was doing a lot of stimulus content, there was a lot of people that were like, "Oh, stimulus confirmed," or whatever, and it's just like I could do that and gain 100,000 views, or I could not do that, gain 10,000 views, and it'd be liked by my subscribers. But it seemed like every day that I went along, yes, there were people that were hating them, but they were gaining like tens of thousands of subscribers, and I was like, should I do it? And I just don't I just don't do it. So I'm not gonna do it. I'm not that way. I want to gain subscribers. If I'm not gonna use other people, other people's notoriety and popularity to my advantage, and collab with them, I'm not gonna do this either. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and take an easy road. I want to do it myself. So yeah. Uh, if you're talking about Lemon on your phone, it seems real scammy to me. You also have to give people wait, time to type, man. Yes, pay off everything with high interest first. Yeah, that's just look at it. Uh, yeah, I will. I don't know what you're asking. Will I just look at it? But I will. If you're talking about the money, yes, I will just stare at it, because I could tell you that I could be a millionaire, right? Because I make a lot of money to, put. I could have saved a lot, but I don't really save well. I like to obviously live life and buy things that we really want, and not really look at prices that much. That's something that I really wanted in life, to not have to look at prices. Obviously, I have to budget and all that stuff, but it's something that I don't want to do, is have to look at prices of, clothes and say, oh, I don't really want to buy this type of thing. No audio? I have audio. Testing. Yeah, we're good. You might have the sound off yourself. Home paid off, investment properties, personal chef to cook tendies all day. Matt, thank you for the ideas. I'll add index fund to my list of investments when we hit. Yeah, I definitely will put out a video on, what to do post, uh, mother of all short squeezes, post the squeeze. But yeah, I would say that you need to have some sort of safe investment in there, something that'll gain you money because, like a lot of people are here as the members, money makes you money. So if you're a money make money member, that's what it's all about, you know? So that's what I plan on doing. All of my investments, I plan on spending money to make money, or having my money just make money for me. Sit somewhere and go from there. Now we got about 3 minutes, and I just played my first ad. So thank you guys for being here. You are not liked by your subscribers. You are loved. I appreciate that. It means a lot. All my debt will be gone. I'm gonna live the lavish life. Honestly, my life will not change much afterwards. Just a lot more freedom. A lot of people do say that, and I believe you. But I think that everybody that gains money out of it, no matter if it's $10,000 or $10 million, take some time, look at it, understand what it is, build a plan on what you're going to do with that, and it cannot be just paying for everything and buying expensive like Lambos and all that stuff. Um, it can't be all of that. You can buy a Lambo if you want, but I'm just saying that it's not really a true investment buying things that really depreciate in value, especially that much. If you can buy something that's going to give you wealth for years to come, let's say you're 25 now, right? And you take $1 million and put it into an index fund, well, you don't have to work the rest of your life. Now, if the index fund doesn't really perform well, typically they're safer. But if you put money into these funds, typically they're going to increase in value. You want to pick the right funds. I would say go with probably a Vanguard fund or something, and you just put your $1 million there. It's going to gain you, 80 to $100,000, every single year, sometimes maybe even more. You could put some into your Roth IRA so that that you have other funds that can move either with the market or with bonds or whatever. And then you have a solid $5 million after you get to retirement age that you can put into somewhere else. So just make sure your money makes money for you. I don't want anybody to spend it all on, they're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to buy a house for my mom, my brother, my sister, my aunt. Don't, don't do all of that. If one, once they receive all of this stuff, they're going to have to pay the taxes on it. If you're giving people money, they have to pay the taxes on that as well. So you pay the taxes on the money that you gained, plus they're going to pay taxes on the money that they get from you. So you'd rather buy somebody some things so you pay less in taxes rather than you just giving somebody the money, them having to explain where they got $30,000 from, and then having to be taxed at a certain point. So you got to find the way to not pay as much taxes. Use the clickbait words, gain subs and views, but pave the road for your downside. Soul for a soul. Using those Marvel references. I love it. I can't hear anything. I closed and reopened. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's sound. It shows on my soundboard, and also I can hear it. It shows on my So like I can hear it perfectly fine. All right. So it's 9 o'clock. That's what I'm talking about. I'll leave my 9 to 5 and finally have the freedom to do what I want with my time, and don't want to live lavish lifestyle. Yeah, I agree with you. That's good. All right. Well, hopefully, it seems like people have sound. Some people don't, but I'm ending the stream anyways. So thank you guys for being a part of this. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more videos like this one. Make sure you guys, if you guys are here and you guys care about supporting me, go over to my golf channel and subscribe to that. I know if you guys don't want to see it or all the time, then go over there, subscribe, check it out. See if you do like it, because I do have commentary in between. It's not just me, you know, hitting shots. It's a lot of commentary on what I plan to do with that channel. So thank you guys for supporting me in every way that you do. The super chats, the members, all of you, everything. And we're at 150 likes, which is my goal every day. So thank you guys. I'm going to get out of here. And I will catch you guys in the next video.